Reviewing this election, obviously the Patriotic Front had a press briefing just a few days ago talking about the election in Kabwata constituency, which unfortunately you didn't win as the Patriotic Front. The UPND basically retaining the seat after having won it on the 12th of August. But you were of the considered view that the election results do not represent what you expected or what you believed. Can you give us more on that?
Well, it's not just about representing what we expected. It is also representing, we don't believe it represents the will of the people of Kabwata. And I think by extension, the people of Zambia. When you look at the fact that just when the campaigns were, kicked off, a number of senior members of Patriotic Front were hung. And unfortunately, I was one of those that suffered an arrest as campaign manager, charged with a bogus, charge of defaming the president. From then on, we had what we believe was an instigated postponement of the election. Next thing, as we proceeded into the campaign, there was a reduction of fuel price against all fundamentals in relation to the fuel price, which was basically a reintroduction of the fuel subsidy, which the UPND government had, removed. Then later on, we had the entire president, vice president, abandoning their work and camping for more than 6, 7 to 8 to 9 days, campaigning and taking selfies in Kabwata. Later on, it was, as it were, as we're getting towards the election day, the police clearly, colluded with the UPND cadres, began to hunt for, PF officials, PF monitors, PF agents, and indeed those that were given an assignment to make sure that they distribute, food and other necessities to our polling agents in the various polling stations. The police and the UPND cadres pounced on them, alleging something that is out of this world. These people are carrying ballot papers and all that nonsense. And later on, we had even what I could describe as a house arrest by the PF, the PF Vice President, Honorable Given Ruvinda, purely because I think he is one of the long-serving members of parliament for Kabwata, having served that constituency for 20 years. And I think he scored during his time, and he was a major factor in the campaigns for Patriotic Front. Summing up all that, looking at the brutality that our members suffered, the ejecting of some of our agents out of polling stations. We even had situations in a few polling stations where the total number of those that cast votes compared to the total number of votes that were counted, there was no reconciliation. And when a recount was made and checking of those ballot papers, there were even ballot papers that were found without serial numbers. So all we can say as Patriotic Front is that we don't find the results to be legitimate. We don't find the whole process to be free and fair. We know that the UPND were desperate to try and, window dress that they are still popular 5 months after being election with a broken record of going against all the campaign promises they made in the general election.